Welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily 2-card reading for Sunday, April 7th, 2024. And we are officially entering, when I look at the new moon phase, I look at the new moon as being the day before, the day of, which is tomorrow, and then the day after. That 3-day energy that we get around every new and full moon. And this new moon is bringing us to the solar eclipse that we're going to have in Aries. It'll be on Monday afternoon, I guess, depending on where you are in the planet. Where I'm at will be about 50-ish% eclipse. So we won't have the full complete solar eclipse like some places in the country will, but we're still a part of that energy and we'll still feel that. And so today is the day that we're really entering that, even though we've really been in this eclipse portal now since about a week before the full moon at the end of March. So we are working with the Liminal Forest Oracle by MJ Cullinane. It arrived just in time for me to start the readings for this week, and I am so excited to dive into this deck and discover things. Yesterday's reading was very interesting and powerful, and I've really been thinking a whole lot about it, what it means, how to act upon it, how it affected my day, where I learned or altered or made good choices based on that information that I got through that reading. So I do want to mention that in this book, MJ says this about the liminal forest. She's talking about the deck as well as that liminal space that is the forest where we can go to find information. Other liminal spaces that I'm really drawn to are doorways, gateways, pathways, also the dusk and the dawn. Last week we worked with the secret garden deck, and that is also a beautiful liminal space where we're open to energy. She says that the liminal forest is a tool for navigating your inner landscape. It's the path of self-discovery and to open a dialogue with yourself. And the insights you unravel are signposts which illuminate your way to self-discovery. So that is what we can find here in this deck. And I think that we need a lot of that right now. Well, there's so much shifting energy in our planet. So as always, I look at the energy of the day, which is the force that's directed towards us from the universe. And then I look at the focus, which is the intention, the effort, or the response that we put into that energy. Because ultimately, we are co-creating with Spirit. Spirit sends us energy, our world sends us energy, and then we choose how we're going to work with that. So let us look at the energy for today. Our energy card. And then our focus. I have one of my cats over here. They've been really curious with these readings this week. This one most especially. He's always curious and likes to be in the middle of just about everything. So sorry. Hopefully he doesn't rattle or knock anything around. So let us look at our energy for today. I do want to say before I start this reading that I always open a circle of light and love and protection around these readings and my reading space, which extends to the readings and anyone who watches the reading, no matter when it's going to be. Today, tomorrow, next week, next year. The other day, I watched a reading that was from a year ago from Stuart Pierce. We visited one of his decks earlier, the Angels of Atlantis. And I realized that that reading was given to me on that day, that message from him, even though he did it a year ago, because I needed to hear it that day. And that's how I believe these messages work. There's something for you in this reading. And if you find it, know that the timestamp on the reading doesn't matter. The message is there for you. So, all right, let's look at the energy for the day. We have empathy. I think this is really interesting, especially considering our reading yesterday was kind of talking about how we need to find common ground in this kind of shifting energy. And empathy is a beautiful thing. It is a gift. And I will tell you, not everybody has empathy. Some people have a shocking lack of empathy. Now, I'm a nurse, and so I'm probably drawn to people who are empathetic because we're in that field. though sometimes I work with people and I'm like, well, you really have no empathy. It's just interesting. Empathy is, putting ourselves in another person's space, being aware of how they feel, understanding where they come from. And it's a very powerful thing. We all are affected by life in many different ways. We all have traumas in our life that we don't even sometimes understand. We have past life trauma that we're working through. We have family connections and trauma that we're working through. And all these things cling to us. And so it's good for us to have empathy for those around us, because we never know what somebody else has gone through or what they're going through at that time. So this is a powerful message. Let's see an energy. It's a powerful energy that we're getting today. So let's see what MJ says about the empathy card. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, there's a whole lot going on in this card. We have a hornet's nest with a fox on it, on top of a hare. We have a raccoon, always mischievous. We have an owl. We have another rabbit. We have a stag in the background, bees, crows, poppies. Poppies are something that shows up in her Urban Crow Oracle deck a lot, a beautiful flower. So let us see what she says about empathy here. It says, navigating life's struggles can sometimes feel like precariously balancing a hornet's nest on your head. In these moments, the weight of the challenges bears down heavily. The relentless buzzing caused by anxiety disorients us, and the slightest misstep holds the potential to unleash an army of pain. We're talking about these hornets here balanced on this hare's neck. At the heart of human connection lies the ability to recognize and honor another's struggles without casting judgment. This empathetic understanding is potent, forging deep bonds and fortifying relationships. Unfortunately, not everyone responds to these experiencing a difficult situation with empathy. Perhaps inadvertently, some exacerbate the stress by piling on, unaware of their impact, or just indifferent to it. Others, governed by a fear of involvement, choose to distance themselves. This avoidance leads to choosing disconnection over connection. In contrast, there are those whose intentions to help, while their heart may be in the right place, might not always be practical. They offer advice and solutions without the benefit of perspective or having experienced similar situations themselves. Their well-meaning suggestions, however, often miss the mark, unintentionally adding to the burden. Equally, some self-designed problem solvers rush in to fix issues without fully understanding them, and their lack of insight potentially worsens the situation that they intend to alleviate. It's interesting because I talked about people who have really no empathy at all, and you will find people that have like over empathy, and they cannot help but try to meddle and fix, and sometimes you just need to be aware and show someone you understand that they've gone through a lot. Anyway, the rest of what MJ says here is genuine empathy is not about judging, fixing, or pinpointing the causes of distress. It doesn't observe from a safe distance. Instead, it involves walking alongside someone under the midst of swirling chaos of hornets, offering presence and support. Empathy is the foundation upon which strong, trusting relationships grow and flourish. It facilitates development, helps prevent future misunderstandings, and alleviates resentment. In its purest form, empathy is the quiet, steadfast companion who helps you stay balanced in the face of life's relentless buzz. So she's got a lot to say in this card, and it's all very interesting. And, we talked, I talked about empathy at the start and how we have people who really show a complete lack of empathy for others, which I always find interesting. And then you find empathy in the sense that overt empathy. Sometimes there are empaths in the world who take on everything from everyone around them, and that weighs them down. So there is a balance to empathy, and we just need to find that. So let us look at our focus and our focus card today and see if that helps us guide this reading. So we have mob. The card is mob, which is really interesting. We have a bunch of crows, and they are surrounding this fox. I mean, overwhelming him, surrounding him, fluttering around him. And we have sort of a mob mentality going on. Are they trying to harm him? Is there something else of interest around him? I'm not sure, but I find it really interesting with the empathy card because sometimes you can feel mobbed by empathy. You can be overwhelmed by people's empathy. And another way to look at this is sometimes the mob around you has absolutely no empathy or regard for you, which might be what's going on in this card. Let's look at what MJ has to say. Boy, that little fox is cute, isn't it? I do have kind of a soft spot for foxes. Let me find this in the alphabet. Sorry. Okay. She says, working within a group with shared goals can enable collective problem solving for more effective and innovative solutions. However, this dynamic can also pose risks, such as the mob mentality or group think, where the drive for unanimous agreement overshadows critical thinking, potentially suppressing creativity and individual expression. I see this often in my work environment. Anyway, this situation can be challenging for those who oppose the group consensus. Going against the group may cause feelings of isolation and pressure, as the minority viewpoint may be met with dismissive or even hostile responses, leading to a sense of alienation. Such an environment marked by tension and resistance can cause significant stress and self-doubt. It is in this space that maintaining personal beliefs while navigating group dynamics can feel daunting. You may need to consider if you are using the power of the group to coerce someone to fall in line, or if peer pressure is causing you to suppress opinion in favor of group conformity, sacrificing your personal integrity for the sake of group harmony or acceptance. Are you going along with something you don't believe in because speaking up may draw unwanted attention or cause conflict? Wow. So interesting. This message is really interesting. We have the idea of empathy presented to us with knowing that there should be a balance in our empathy, because there can be the absolute disregard or lack of empathy, or there can be the overabundance and almost smothering of empathy energy. And then we have the mob, which is another kind of card of balance. Like sometimes you're the one in the group that just doesn't agree with what everyone else thinks is best, or what's going on, or the way to process forward. And if you say something, you're kind of the bad guy because you're not going along with them. I think this message here is telling us to be true to yourself, your feelings of empathy, but also be true to your feelings. You know, even if you don't like what the group is going to decide on, it's okay to express your opinion and let people know, I don't think this is the way. And it's hard sometimes to be brave enough to do that, you know, because you can be judged and you can have people, or you maybe even feel like you're judged. Even if you're not judged by the people around you, you can feel like that. So this is an interesting day, especially since we're, you know, starting this new moon phase, which is so important, and bringing the eclipse to us, the solar eclipse to us tomorrow. I'm really curious to see how this day goes. I'm really curious. This feels a little bit unbalanced, a little shifty, and that really feels like eclipse energy all around. So thank you so much. I hope you've connected with this reading in some way. I would love to hear if you have, or any comments you have about the deck so far. Please like, please subscribe, please share this reading if you can, but mostly likes, messages, and subscriptions help my channel grow so I can help spread these messages to other people. These specific messages, but also just the message that we have tools available to us in the form of oracle cards that can help serve as guides to us. So thank you so much for coming to Simply Liminal with me today. My name is Stacy. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow on our solar eclipse day.